All right, good morning, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Welcome to Option 4 Podcast. I'm your boy, Drew, always joined by the second half of our show, GQ Nesso. How you doing today?
What it do? What it do?
All right, and ladies and gentlemen, we got some very, very special guests today. We got Maisha and her husband, Mohammed, you know what I'm saying, representing Melanin Gang. Am I pronouncing that right?
That's right. Melanin Gang.
Hey, tell us a little bit about y'all business. What is Melanin Gang? Tell me about that.
So Melanin Gang is a brand to inspire, celebrate African-American people. We was founded in 2017. We started off at a vending event, and I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Barbecue Becky situation.
Okay.
Barbecued and Wild Black.
Barbecue and Wild Black,
Yeah.
and that's our first start. And then we got out there, didn't really have a tent. We just had a regular white tent, had a couple of things, and we just wanted to start, starting our own business. You know what I mean?
Sure.
We was working at a corporation for about, say 8 or 9 years, and we realized how that corporation treats you once you get hired to the top. So
we wanted more.
We wanted more. We wanted to do more. So Melanin Gang is a brand that inspires, celebrate African-American people, and we would do it through clothing, through books, and we want to inspire the youth, and that's pretty much our mission.
All right. Hey, yo, when we were talking prior to this interview and prior to today, you guys mentioned that you guys had the aspirations and stuff like that, but you was looking for the why.
Yeah.
Maisha, why don't you tell me what that why is?
The why is our children. We wanted to, the why is not just our children, it's for Black people as well, right? We wanted Black people to know that you could do more, right? You don't have to stop at just clocking in at work or, just going with the regular emotions of life.
Yeah.
You should want more for yourself.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the logo is our two children. So when you look at the logo, you see my daughter Soraya, you see our son Salahuddin.
Yeah.
And they like the reason why we got it started. But then once we got it started and we start to see how we impact in our community and what we're doing around that, it's just like, okay, it could be much bigger than what we thought it would be in the beginning. So that's just, that's our why right there.
And the inspire comes from inspiring Black people to chase their wildest dreams, right?
Okay.
Not be held back by fears, to celebrate their beauties and their wins, and to empower us.
Okay.
So I got a question. So, we always we all want the happily ever after story, but
Right.
Obviously every success comes with his hardships and his you want to say times where you're just like, Jesus, take the wheel, like, right? So like, what is it that pushes you guys through these setbacks and situations like that? Like because we just want to know the raw feeling of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just getting out here and doing it. A lot of people are afraid to take that leap.
The risk.
And then the risk of doing it, and
It's bigger than money for us. Sorry,
Right.
not music.
Yeah.
Money is bigger than money for
Oh,
us.
you got a
right?
mixtape out there? You got a
He
mixtape?
does do music.
Is that what it
He
is?
does do music.
I do,
Yes,
yeah.
he does.
I'm an
He
artist.
does
I'm
do
an artist
music.
too as well. Yeah.
Shameless plug. He does do music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She had to slide it out there real
Yeah.
quick.
But,
I had to slide it in.
I do music as well, but the biggest thing is just going out there and starting a business. I think with the community we grew up in,
73rd.
73rd.
73rd
Oh,
Hillmont.
okay.
Also over there, 47th and Bond is our masjid,
Yes.
and we used to leave like every Friday. We used to have a Juma. It's like church for Muslims, and every time we would walk out, we would see people vending. We would see our adults. We would see our community vend, and subconsciously that was always rubbed off on us, and we was able to see them move and make money and just help out the community. So. Once we had the opportunity, once we figured out what our why was, which is, starting our own business and being entrepreneurs, once we figured that out, it was like, okay, well, let's just lean back on our community and just start our business and see how that goes. And right now, every time we go out to an event, every time we go to the lake, every time we doing something, we're inspiring people. People get motivated. They see us, and they're really proud. And it really makes me feel makes us feel really good, you know, that we're making an impact within the community, not just with clothes, but just seeing us doing our thing.
And it's an uphill. It's a back and forth battle, right?
Right.
It goes up and it goes down. We have good days, we have bad days. I mean, it's days we scraping the bottom and days we balling out. You know what I'm saying? But it's just, again, remembering the why, the reason why we're doing this. We're doing this to inspire, celebrate, and empower Black people. And as we know, that's an everyday struggle.
Yeah.
Yep. Where do you guys see you guys in 5 years from now?
5 years from now, shit, hopefully something like this. You know what
Okay.
I mean? Hopefully something like
a place like Youth Uprising, right?
Uprising, yeah. Like this is like to see this, you know, East Oakland. This is the middle of East Oakland. You know what I mean? Right. And the way they beautified it when we pulled up, it didn't look like this. It was just regular. Yeah. But the fact that they beautified it and made it look like this, you know, East Oakland is not the safest place to be. Yeah. You know what I mean? But I feel really safe here. You know what I mean? Right now in this very moment. So to build something like this, like I said, money and millions of dollars, that's cool. I mean, that's what's up. But I'm saying when you see a kid walking around and they feel comfortable wearing their clothes and being proud of being themselves and not have to, conform to whatever the society's norms is in terms of being a Black man, you know what I'm saying, to be able to inspire and celebrate and empower that youth is very important to us. It's like the reason why we wake up and we come here early in the morning, we do this, and we might not make $1 that day, but we might see a kid, we might get him a book or something, or get him a sweater and see them light up.
It goes a long
and
way.
Feel prideful about what we're doing. It's just that's what get us going. You know what I mean? Like the money is cool, yeah, we want that. Right. But I think the impact that you leave for the next generation, when my kids is gonna be walking around and they got to live in a society where if we don't do our part, they might be, you know, might get thrown off the rails. You know what I mean? So.
Hey, so like, what is the creative process, right? So I was peeping out some of y'all stuff. One thing that stood out to me was one of y'all crew necks. It said.
You can't see up when looking down.
Yeah. That was, I was like, no, she didn't.
You know, we're raising 3 children. We have a 7-year-old, a 5-year-old, and a 1-year-old, right? And in this world, we're in a crazy world right now, right? So we wanted to always find a way to tell our daughter, and our parents tell us too, to keep your head up. You ever notice, like, sometimes when we're walking, you have your head down? Yeah. So it's a reminder when you're looking down that you're going to...
Oh.
Be good. Keep going.
It's
Get the thing. See, look. Did he stop it?
No, we still live.
Because I'm like, look, if our head was down, we wasn't paying attention. We wouldn't have known. You know? We wouldn't have known. What was that?
Shit was about to get real.
For sure. But yeah, so another way to look at that sweater too as well is just walking in a certain environment, certain places. I know me personally, I've been somebody that walked in my head down when I'm walking into places I'm not necessarily comfortable in. Like even when I was at the court. Oh, time out.
Yeah, he paused it.
Okay, pause it.
He was trying to make sure we was good. So, we appreciate it.
Right. You want to start with the question?
Yeah, I'll start with the question.
Okay.
We good, Mitch? All right. Hey, yo, so I was looking at your line and your things and the designs that you guys do, and one thing that stood out to me was one of your crew necks and one of your T-shirts. It said you can't see up when looking down. What's y'all creative process? Who comes up with this? Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Both of us. I'll have an idea, and then I'll come with Mo, and I'll be like, "What you think about this?" And then he'll chime in. But you can't see up when looking down. It came from us just telling our daughter Soraya. We have 3 children: Soraya, Salahuddin, and Nuri, 7, 5, and 1. And we always remind her, you know, keep your head up. Like, don't look down. When you walk in a room and maybe you feel uncomfortable, still keep your head up.
Yeah,
your
important.
story. What was
you
saying?
Just in terms of just walking in environments that you're not necessarily welcomed in. You know, me personally, when I first got my job, it was the first job at a big corporation. You know, my pants was, you know, I didn't know how to really dress. I didn't fit the mold of what the corporate world looked like. So a lot of the times I wouldn't feel comfortable in those situations. A lot of times I wouldn't, you know, look people in the eye, customers, managers in the eye, and I would talk, but then I would put my head down. And it's just like, you know, you wanna always walk into wherever you're walking into confidently. You know what I mean? Even if you know you're not, you know, this ain't your most comfortable spot. But if people see you walking with your head up and your shoulders back and your posture straight, then they're gonna respect you just off the rip. You know what I mean? Right. And if you walk with your shoulders, your hands in your pockets, not confident, then you're looking like a victim in essence. You know what I mean? Yeah. So you want to make sure that you always keep your head up in whatever situation that you're in, and be able to, you know what I'm saying, walk confidently. So it's just a sweater to remind, and other people get other things from it too. Like people talking about their phone, like parents always say, "Oh, my son's always on his phone," and stuff like that. So you can take what you want to take from, and that's the beauty of what we doing.
What our messages,
like the wake up and live. Like that might mean something for us, but that might mean something completely different for the person that's buying it. You know what I mean? They might have a whole different story behind
that they relate to.
Why they relate to it.
And we did it upside down on purpose.
I was like, all right.
And it's good for the other person too, who might be walking and they're gonna stop you and say, "Wait, what does that say? Why is that upside down?" And then now you're spreading a message to them.
You even got a barcode and everything. I love that. That's what's up. Like, hey, follow me. Pull out your phone real quick. Hold up.
Look, that's the world we in right now. You know, you gotta figure out ways to stay on top of the trends.
That's right.
Another thing that like stood out to me was the children's book.
Yeah.
You guys, can we talk about that?
Yeah. So I love to do affirmations. I do them every day. I do them in the mirror. I believe in them a ton, right? I even try to get this man to do something.
You got some crystals with it too?
Yeah, I do have crystals. Okay, got a little sage. I sage my family in the morning.
Microdosing?
He don't really like it, but
no.
Sometimes. I mean, it depends on the energy. You know what I'm saying? Like I see when she
if he think I'm negative energy, he'll say, "You need to go sage yourself." Then he believe in it.
Yeah, right. So
but I was doing affirmations, and my daughter, Soraya, she's like, "I want to do affirmations with you." So she started to do it with me, and I said, "Mo, I have never seen a black affirmation, a children's book. We should do that." Ooh. Now he's like, "A book?" He probably think it's a book. That's wild, because we're conditioned to think that things are hard, right? Oh, you want to make a book? No, you got to go through all these different things to do that. Nah, I don't do that. But I'm like, "Nah, we gonna figure this out. I'm gonna use Google. I'm gonna figure out how to do this." And I broke down a plan. I said, "Okay, this is what we got to do," and we did it. We self-published it. We used a resource, Alibaba. Okay. Are you familiar with Alibaba? Yeah. A dope place.
Plug,
download it, like check it out. Anything that you want to make, you can contact a manufacturers overseas, and you can make it. You could cut out the middleman.
Yep, 100%. Yeah, and then we also, our family went over the book too. My mom, my dad, her mom, my sister, she's a teacher, so was able to edit some of the things just to make sure everything was pristine and crystal clear with the messaging. And it was
the artwork. We found the illustrator on Instagram under the hashtag Black Illustrators. See, so do not sleep on your resources.
Throw little handles out there.
Anna Latisse.
Big time.
A lot of people they just sleep on the resources, right? We use Instagram every day, right? You use Twitter. Use those things to find what you need.
Yeah, right. Straight up. Yeah, that's pretty much.
Because that's how we found her, and we worked on the illustrations for a year. We wanted black children to see themselves and not a funny looking character or a shape, because that's what they do. You know?
Yeah, I'm saying, right.
Yeah.
So
that's cool.
That's
cool. And where do you guys are? Is it on Amazon? Where can we?
We were on Amazon, but Amazon, they like to play games. They want you. They have their own publishing, right? KDP.
Okay.
Kindle Publishing. Kindle Direct Publishing. Yeah. That's what it is. So in order to like run ads, which is a big thing nowadays, right? You have to publish through them. Right. But we self-published for a reason. We wanted to cut out the middleman. We wanted control, and so. We took it off Amazon, and we just went directly online on our website.
Too Short E40.
Yeah, straight out the trunk.
Hell yeah. Pop the trunk. Hell yeah.
That's how we've been moving.
Yeah, so we do pop-ups. We do online. And it's been such an amazing journey. We've been able to go into schools and read the book to children and have them do affirmations and explain to them what affirmations is. And we never imagined that we were going to do that.
So give us a sneak peek of like one of your, I want to say your top 5.
Well, the first two is always my favorite because it's my kids. So on the letter A is for amazing. Today will be an amazing day. It's my daughter. It's a picture of my daughter and my son. B is for believe. I believe in myself and my abilities. My son has autism, so I want him to always believe in himself and his abilities, and those are always my favorite too. Those.
And I believe this is Autism Awareness Month, right? I mean, we need to speak on that a little bit, because we're a Black young couple, right? And in our community, having any type of disorder, I feel like it's kind of overlooked, right?
Oh, for sure.
Or you kind of in denial, right? In denial. And we were on it very early. We got him evaluated at like 1.5, and he was diagnosed by 2, and they were shocked because they're like, wait, you're like 2 young parents and y'all on it? Wow, we don't usually see this, right? And that early intervention, it makes a huge difference in your child's life. We wanted to make sure we do what's best for Salahuddin and his needs, and not what we want him. Oh, we want you to talk. It was never any of that.
In the beginning, hearing the diagnosis as a father, it was tough. Your first son, hearing that he got autism, and as a father, you want, okay, he gonna play basketball, he gonna be a ladies man, he gonna have all that. Then when you get hit with the curveball, him having autism, it's like, damn, So in the beginning, I'm not gonna lie, like maybe a year or 2, I was kind of not necessarily in denial, but I was a little hurt about it because I just didn't know what that looked like, and I know what special needs look like in terms of how it's viewed outside of, from the outside looking in. But now being in those shoes, I can recognize and see, okay, he has autism. He got something going on. And instead of people judging and stuff, pull that kid to the side or let the parent know, I understand what you're going through. It's okay that's the diagnosis, but we got resources and things like that to be able to reach out and help. Yeah. And it's also built my patience too as well. It's
right.
Like a lot of the stuff that kids may do
that don't
have autism, like y'all, trust me, autism is like, it's definitely a little more difficult to deal with, just in terms of emotionally. Your son never says, my son might not ever say, I love you, Dad. I might not ever get that from him, possibly. And that hurts, But at the same time, I ask for a kiss and he give me a kiss every time. I ask for a hug, he give me a hug every time. Yeah. So it's like, but you got to learn how to deal with that and come to grips with that,
But what if you could change that?
In terms of,
you know what I mean? Like, no, I'm saying like I just think sometimes, like you said, they get overlooked, right? And I think, like, in my opinion, if it feels like it might be a slight disadvantage, but it could be done. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, you especially nowadays, like there's so many things, so many resources, and I just think like we can't be so black and white. Like, I hear you saying that, and that's painful. You know what I mean? Like just hearing that, but I feel like it could be done. You know what I mean?
He's doing it. That's what he gives him a kiss. So him giving him the kiss is him saying, I love you. I recognize you. I know you. I may be nonverbal, but I understand.
What's going on.
And you're right. And we shouldn't be stuck on those, oh, yeah, your baby supposed to talk or your baby supposed to walk. It's like, no, they do other things that give those same messages. And
he's extreme. And I know we going on the autism, but he's a really like a lot of autistic kids are really bright, really smart, and they do things that they see in 4D where we see in 3D. So they might the things that we think is small is big, and the things that we think is big is smaller than. You know what I'm saying? So it's a difference. So it's a beautiful thing, and I love
they're kind of teaching us if you really think about it.
They are.
Like think about how we're programmed to be stressed, right?
Yeah.
But then you have somebody that gets excited over the smallest thing, right? Why can't we do that?
Right.
And I think that's a huge lesson, and I think things happen for a reason. God things a certain way for a reason, and I think just hearing you guys out on that I think it's just a way of sending a message. Maybe we need to be more grateful, be more embrace the blessings. Have that.
And that's how we take it.
That's exactly how we see it and how we take it.
We want to spread the message in terms of that's another thing that we're gonna probably dive into later down the line, just in terms of autism awareness and just giving, especially in the Black community. Some people are not. They're in denial. They don't go get help about it.
And it's affecting their child. It hurts the child.
You know what I mean? And it affects you as a parent, too, because sometimes you want your time and you don't know how to communicate. And it's things, resources out there to be able to help you communicate with your kids and give you a little extra, peace of mind when you in the house with your son and or your daughter and you don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
But, so we're definitely going to be tapping into that soon just to give
because it's needed.
Some help with that.
But you said your first 2 affirmations. Yeah. Mine is XYZ, what will be, will be. What's for you will not pass you. So it's a play on that.
For sure.
Yeah.
That's deep. I like that. Yeah. But like as we come, as we wrapping this up, like, where can we find you? What should we be on the lookout for? And then one question I want to talk about. Well, I want to talk about how important this teamwork is, right?
Yes.
Because I know y'all a couple, and y'all got a business.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And y'all bump heads, y'all see each other every day, but y'all on a common accord, right?
Yeah.
You get something accomplished. So how important is teamwork in y'all day to day?
Well, we've known each other since the first grade.
First grade.
I've known her since the first grade.
We
went to the same school together.
That was me.
He's like, dibs, got her.
Yeah, me right there.
No.
Chocolate milk.
Right.
Girl.
Yeah.
So we on the same. We got the same type of. You know, our life has been woven in together, whether it's family, community, all that. You know what I mean? So, yes, of course we bump heads. Everybody in a relationship bump heads. In business, yes, we do disagree with certain things, and some things happen like that. But at the same day, we got the same vision. We trying to get to the same place. It's not like she's trying to go to Africa and I'm trying to go to Spain. No, we're trying to get to the same direction in the same way, and we're going to get there how we get there, and we're not in a rush to get there. To the point where we got right now, it's taking us some time to get to this point where we can have these conversations and be on camera and do this, you know what I mean? Like, but this is the part of the journey. This is what makes it waking up. This is what makes us, you know, go to sleep happy and have great conversations and have relationships outside. We ain't with our kids right now, you know what I'm saying? This is technically date for us. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is like when we come out, this is like a date. We get to be around each other, being around the community. We get dressed,
he not off the hook. We still got a date.
we still got a date, of course. But I'm just saying,
we still got a date.
We still, I'm saying, but
these are a long time.
Our intimate moments too.
I mean, but even if we were like in Spain and one in Africa or whatever, right? It takes communication. It takes us being able to grow, right? You have to have that. You have to have what's the word I'm looking for?
Patience?
Patience, yes, patience is in there too. But you have to do self-work as well as together work, right? So.
All right.
Yeah.
Hey, and one thing I always do before we wrap up our show, man, or our episodes, I always say, is it something you want to share with the listeners and the viewers, right? Just some little words of wisdom or anything you would like to put out there.
If you thinking about starting a business or anything, you think about starting your workout journey, you think about being an artist, you think about being a producer, stop thinking about it and just do it. You know what I'm saying? Take the first step and just doing it. You know what I mean? And don't rush the process of it. It's going to take forever in terms of getting to that point that you really want to get to. You want to be a superstar. You want to be a multimillionaire. It doesn't happen overnight, and you don't want it to happen overnight, because if it happens overnight, it can be taken away just as fast. So you want to take your time and build it up. Everybody's here that's doing something. They're building something here. You know what I mean? The people, the podcasters that were on, they're building this. It took time for them to get to this point where they can come to LA and get on here and do this with us. So just take your time, enjoy the process, enjoy the journey of trying to grow something from nothing. And that's the journey. That's the beautiful thing. That's the reward. The money and stuff, like I said, that's cool. But the reward is the journey that you're going to go through. So that's all. That's all I'm going to say.
My message would be, I'm reading this book now called Be Where Your Feet Are. Okay. And it's saying that if you're at work, be at work. If you're on a date, be on a date. If you're with your children, be with your children. So be where your feet are.
Yes. GQ Nesto.
I just got to say thank you guys. We appreciate all our listeners, all our followers. We always want to share a special story. Just hearing a little bit of what you guys got going on is definitely inspiring, and I wish you guys nothing but the best.
Thank you for having us.
Appreciate you for having us. This is our first podcast together.
I know.
So we appreciate y'all for taking our virginity in this space.
Yes.
And thank you. And it's been beautiful. Thank you very much.
You got to leave with yours, right?
Oh yeah, but no, hey, like they touched on, like be right. Be present. Right. Mm-hmm. Be present and get it done. All right. Yeah. Be inspired and be an inspiration to others. But we love you. We thank you. God bless y'all.
Absolutely.
Peace. We out. Thank y'all.
Good afternoon, everybody. We are at Youth Uprising in Oakland, California. We are Option Forward. I'm your boy Drew. I'm always joined by the second half of the show. GQ Nesto, how you doing today?
What it do? I'm good.
The show?
Yeah.
You rested?
Oh, fully rested.
Feeling the positive vibes?
Oh, I told you. I told you. I came in. I'm coming in hard today.
Home sweet home, right?
Yeah. You already know.
All
Good
right.
to be back.
Good to be back. All right. And ladies and gentlemen, we got two very special guests today. All right. We have Miss Val from Spark a Flame Candle, right? And we have Miss Kimberly from Full Tummies, right? Is that right? Right? Is it full-time tummies or full tummies?
Full tummies.
Full tummies. All right. And what we're doing today is we want to dig a little deep, right? We want to learn about their branding and their vision and their inspiration and their story in general, and in hopes and in efforts to put some knowledge and good encouraging information out there. But we'll start with you, Miss Kimberly. How you doing today?
Well, thank you.
All right. Can you tell me about Full Tummies? What is Full Tummies? I would think that is that a culinary
It
type
is.
thing?
So Full Tummies is a full-scale culinary business. It's actually Full Tummies Network, and we do catering and various pop-ups all over the country. But we also do a culinary curriculum here at Youth Uprising. So it's to expose youth who may not have been exposed to the vast array of culinary arts opportunities. So we're teaching some of the kids today how to style food and take photos of it. Blogging, recipe writing, all those kinds of things have been written into the curriculum. We're we've just finished our 6th week. All the kids finished with the Serve Safe certificate.
Okay.
And so now they're working the booth here for the very first time at this fair. Most of them have never had a job before and or worked in food industry at all. And they have it sparked a little bit of a passion in it for them. They're doing a really good job over there at the booth right now. So
because of your training, it's safe for them to be in Mama's Kitchen.
It is actually. They are certified to be in Mama's Kitchen.
All right.
Absolutely.
Most definitely. And Ms. Val, please tell us about Spark a Flame Candle. What is that?
Spark a Flame Candle Company. Well, it started Mother's Day weekend when my sister was actually admitted to the hospital for 2 weeks due to MS. She had a horrible episode to where she could not speak, she couldn't talk, all she can do is cry. So after my sister was in the hospital for those 2 weeks, we basically came back to the house, her, myself, and my daughter, and we had a conversation really just talking about, what should we do next? We all were feeling very defeated but very hopeful. And from there, we just kind of had a conversation and decided, let's go ahead and reboot my sister's candle business, to inspire her back to health. So, it took a few months, but we rebranded and we rebooted, and now it's known as Spark a Flame Candle Company.
Oh, wow. That's amazing. So your sister was something that she did, right? So was it hard for you to kind of pick up the trade? Or how was that process in itself? You know what I'm saying?
Although my sister, has been struggling with MS, the brain is there for sure. She loves making candles. So, we just, all three of us sat down in my dining room table and, she shared the recipes and showed us what to do, and we just put it all together.
Oh, man.
So tell us a little bit about the ingredients that we were talking about. I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah, so what we learned during research is that a lot of the companies out there that have candles, they have an ingredient called paraffin in them, and paraffin is not good for us. And so that's why we decided that, if we're going to be making these candles and selling these candles, we want to make sure that we put clean ingredients, something that is good for you, not only to smell that beautiful scent, but also feel confident that you're not inhaling something that you shouldn't be inhaling. That is why we make our candles with 100% soy.
Okay. Yep. And Ms. Kimberly, when we spoke earlier prior to this this beautiful event today, you were saying that your background wasn't necessarily in culinary arts.
No, I'm an engineer by profession.
Okay, let's talk about that.
Okay.
But I have, but I've been cooking. I learned to cook with my grandmother when I was very young, and we started a catering business just before I went off to college, and I literally, came home debt-free from college cooking, and I lived on my own. I had my car and all those kinds of things, and that was what my message to my students are, is that even if you just do, you can make cupcakes, you can make the best lemonade in the world, or whatever the case may be, people always have to eat, it's that kind of thing, and it's carried me through some, being laid off as an engineer. It happens quite often, or any other aspect of my life. Having kids, kind of bridge that gap between staying at home with my children and going back to work, that kind of thing.
So what's the signature dish?
We actually don't really have a
No.
dish, so
Your signature dish. I want to know the real plug.
So I try to use the wide array of the African diaspora to cook. So I cook everything from Spanish food to Moroccan food to, Southern food to. Yeah,
So nothing in particular?
Nothing in particular.
Okay.
I prefer not to pigeonhole myself like that. And so it depends on what my clients want. Again, I'll do whatever, or what the market, can hold. If you have a gazillion soul food restaurants going on, then, it's kind of unnecessary to do that. Today we're making hot dogs with chili cheese dogs. I made the chili, and we have killer brownie sundaes, and I made the sundaes, and I taught the kids how to make caramel, just like you were saying, the high fructose corn syrup. I don't use any of those things.
Good.
We use all organic ingredients. Even the hot dogs and hot links are organic. And so that was very important to me to also teach everybody that I come in contact with about the health benefits of using sustainable products. So that's what we pretty much focus on.
A lot of knowledge right now. I'm just taking it all in. All right, and Ms. Val, I mean, you when we spoke, you said like if I look at candle businesses, what I'm saying, there's a lot out there.
Yeah.
And then you mentioned how what you decided to do to differentiate yourself from everybody else. What was that decision? What's that angle?
Well, when we decided that we were going to go ahead and start this candle business, what I did was I Googled homemade candle business. And the results that I got, it highlighted there's 1,000 candle businesses out there, So if you're going to start something, you need to start something that has a special niche. So after much deliberation and conversation and, coming up with different candle names, we decided that we would have our candle business be focused on erotic candles.
Oh, awesome. Like that.
Now, can we get a name? Can we get a sample? Give me maybe your most popular selling candle right now.
I would say the most popular selling candles is Morning Woody and Vajayjay.
Oh,
Morning Woody and Vajayjay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shit got real.
Yes.
Okay.
But no, I mean, it's catchy and it stands out. But there's also another reason that you told me behind that, though, is to spark that conversation, that communication, right?
Right.
You want to touch on that?
Yeah, so we love just engaging with our community as it relates to our candles, and when it comes to our candle names, people always have questions about, why did you name your candle this? Why did you name your candle that? Each one of our names is aligned with embracing your relationship status and embracing your sexuality. So what we promote in our business is human differences. We encourage people to just live their truth. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Nothing better with some candles.
Right.
Damn. Okay.
And then as far as you, Ms. Kimberly, you was saying like how you wanted to pretty much take what you do, fulltummies.net, our network, like nationwide. So
Yes.
Tell us about that. What's your efforts in that, and what are you trying to accomplish?
Yes, so I have a clientele base from here to the East Coast, and so I've been catering from California to the East Coast for quite some time, and what I really would like to do is take the culinary curriculum that I've written into other nonprofit and or youth organizations, including transitional youth organizations or transitioning foster care organizations, to help support those people going into the world possibly for the very first time, to understand that they can be entrepreneurs, but they can also have skill sets that are valuable to someone else's business. And you don't have to go to culinary school necessarily and pay a fortune to be there. You can literally learn, as we have it as a trade, at a community center, and they can just start immediate work. So the curriculum is actually built around entrepreneurism here at Youth Uprising, because the population was a bit younger. We had to tailor it to what they have here, but that's generally what it's meant for. So
Okay.
Empty nesters also.
All right. And would you say, we always talk about like as being a business owner or having aspirations. It's the action behind it, right? So you have the thought, but it's the putting the action behind it. How hard was it for you? Was it easy for you? I mean, it probably was easy for you because this was your passion to make that jump. What challenges have both of you guys faced in trying to create what you're doing today?
You go first.
Okay. COVID is horrible for the food industry. So I literally wrote the school curriculum during COVID because it was just so hard to get out there. And like I said, I have clients in Atlanta, which is really funny, is where the CDC is housed, but it was one of the first cities that was open during COVID. But, you know, it still was kind of difficult to, you know, transition from here to there. Anyway, so that was the biggest challenge, is really trying to figure out what I was going to do during COVID or what was going to happen to my business. And I'm sure like yours, what's going to happen to my business as things start to transition. You know, I've been in the business for 30 years, and so things have transitioned. I've owned a restaurant. I've done, you know, personal chef. I've done all these things. But COVID was a really weird time. It's like, what happens when, you know, things are shut down and people are not really as responsive or ready to get back out into the world even after, you know, a year or 18 months. So it was really wonderful to have this this process done by being able to create the curriculum, but also being able to, again, share with people who may be shut in. You know, a lot of people were ordering food being delivered at home. People were ordering food that they were actually putting in the mail and all those kind of things. Those mail delivery boxes, boy, that business went shot up real good. Well, so it's really nice to have been able to understand that and be able to share that with young people for sure.
Wow.
I would say, first of all, just being an entrepreneur is challenging, but it's priceless. And I realize that it's definitely not for everyone, but I'm a sole believer in not putting all your eggs in one basket. Yes. You know, I feel like if you have the right mindset and the right drive, it doesn't matter what type of challenge you have when it comes to running your business, you can overcome. You know, so that's what I'm trying to show my daughter, my 22-year-old daughter, how to do it. But I would say the most challenging thing as an entrepreneur would be probably meeting influencers such as yourself, you know, collaborating with influencers, the right influencers that believe in your product enough to be willing to share your story and promote your product. That's the most challenging part. Yeah. But you starting us off on the right foot, so thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
But no, hey, it's funny that you say that. Like when you talk about, we created this platform, and I like the way Nesto, GQ Nesto normally explains why we did it. Why don't you put that out there on why we created what we do today?
Where do I start? Like, I think we all want the bag, right? Yeah. To some extent, right? And I think one of the things that, you know, me and Drew, we always had these interesting conversations of like life, business, everything. So we decided to, you know, put whatever we were talking about out there and create a platform where people can actually relate, right? So we're talking about candles, we're talking about food, you know, all these topics, right? I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people out there listening that are, you know, have similar paths, right? And we wanted to create something where people can you know, discover their aha moment, right? Yeah. And just say, damn, maybe I should be doing this, or if this person did it this way, maybe, you know, I can, you know, do something similar. So there's no reason to reinvent the wheel. It's just a matter of like not quitting and you know, going through it. So here we are, you know. It's definitely been a journey for both of us. You know, we always try to ask these questions like, you know, like what are the struggles? Because we all know the positive things, right? Yeah. We already know the outcome, but it's just you know, telling the not so pretty, the ugly, the, you know, I want to hit somebody in their throat, you know, story. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of different emotions, and us as humans, that's how we're powered, off of emotions, right? Mm-hmm. When you say, I want to do this, and you're excited about it, chances are is that you're going to go and do it because your emotions are high. Mm-hmm. If you're pissed off and don't want to do that, then you're definitely closing the door for yourself. So in a nutshell, that's pretty much how we started. And, you know, we've had the opportunity to interview a lot of interesting people like yourselves, and the sky's the limit, right?
And I think it's important because, like you said, like I think as a society or as a people, you know, we see the finished product, but we want to know what goes on behind the scenes. Because if I can figure out how to get myself, because if we have similar interests and I'm going after what you're going after, maybe I can learn from you. You know what I'm saying? Because this is many times where, you know, we want to quit, you know, and they say, well, you won't never, you know, reach the finish line if you quit. You know what I'm saying? But it's hard at times. So what have you done? What keeps you inspired?
My children.
Yes.
My son just walked past. Yes, my children. I have a 19-year-old and a 21-year-old, and they are entrepreneurs as well. They were lucky enough to get into construction really early. And but just being responsible for 2 black men in Oakland in particular, but just in society in general, is a huge undertaking. And I'm always inspired by them. I learn from them all the time. They help me. We've catered or we've done pop-ups where we've serviced hundreds of people, just the 3 of us, and I can always count on them. And so, you know, of course, they can always count on me. But as you get older, you know, things transition. Your kids get older. They move on. They have families of their own or those kinds of things. And I would really just like to leave a wonderful legacy for my family, for them to know that, you know, I, like you just said, it was bringing tears to my eyes. I never give up.
All right.
No matter what the circumstances are, you know, you have to keep fighting for it.
Yeah, absolutely.
No matter how big the challenge is. So, and God bless you and your sister. That's just so beautiful, that story.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Where would you? No, this is beautiful. This is what it's for. You know what I'm saying? That like all the glitz and the glamour and when the makeup and everything and the clothes come off, you know what I'm saying? We are what we are.
Yeah, that's
you
true.
know what I'm saying? So it's important to be real.
Yeah,
You know
that's
what I'm
what's
saying?
up.
It's important to be real. What would you like to see Spark a Flame Candle like expand into? What was your vision? What would your vision be for your brand?
Well, before I answer that question, I want to answer the question what keeps me inspired, if you don't mind. Only because I sparked so much emotion. There go that word spark again. You know, as you was answering your question. I just believe that once I decided to have kids, that was my reason that I could never give up. You know, I've been with my husband ever since I was 17 years old, and I am 48 right now. And he is, thank you.
Looking young. Got to give us that lotion.
Yes.
Those candles.
Right? Those
Okay,
candles.
right. All those sparking of the flames, right? So, you know, when I think about never giving up, even when things are just really hard, I have my husband, I have my daughter, 22 years old, my son, 19 years old, just looking at me. That is, giving up is not an option. Never is an option. You know, so that's what keeps me inspired. But to answer your other question about where do I see Spark a Flame Candles going? Where I see Spark a Flame Candles going is, as I had mentioned to you before, when people come to our booth, they smell our candles, they smile, they look at the candle names, then they chuckle, you know, and I just see people, you know, following us on Instagram, being part of our story, passing on the word, and really just purchasing our candles so they can experience the smell, you know, because I believe that different fragrances just spark a joy in you, you know, especially on those dark days.
All types of
right?
joys.
Right.
All types of joys there.
Right. Butt naked or whatever that was.
You know they looking at that label like, oh yeah, we doing that tonight.
Yeah, exactly. So I just see Spark a Flame Candles being a, you know, a household brand.
Nice. I love it.
And then one thing that stood out to me, Ms. Kim, when we spoke, where you were talking about everybody has a talent. And when you identify that talent, it's even more of a positive thing when you're able to transition or translate that into something that you do for a living, right? You said that was very important for people. Would you like to expound on that, on your beliefs?
I don't think that people encourage their children enough to dig deep about their own personal passions. If you're an artist or a dancer or a poet or, you know, or you love to cook or all those kinds of things, people aren't necessarily these days encouraged to do that. And it's really important. There are things that, of course, we have to do. But I believe that we need to feed our inner, the beauty that's inside of us, our God-given talent. And we need to figure out what that is, first of all, and then be able to do that. And we would be I'm sure that the communities would be so much better off if we were all just able to reflect inward and then utilize whatever tools and gifts those are to show people who we, our genuine selves.
All right. And Ms. Val, in your opinion, like, what do you think is like the biggest reason why people don't want to start their own business?
Fear.
Absolutely.
Fear, absolutely.
Absolutely.
And this is actually the second business I've started. Okay. And the reason why I have overcome that fear, I mean, I have fear at times, but I just feel like if you don't take no risk, there won't be no reward.
That's
and we only got one life to live, so you might as well just put yourself out there.
YOLO.
Yeah, right.
YOLO.
A lot of people don't even see, the successes that they think about in life until they're, much more mature. And, they've gone through quite a few things, and you know how to get over adversity and all those kinds of things. You can manage through them a lot better. Like you said, you get up in the morning and it's like, okay, I'm fighting this fight today.
Yep. Put your boots on.
Yeah, put your boots on. I'm fighting this fight today. It's very important.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, I mean, I was personally speaking, I think it's because social media plays such of an aspect in business nowadays. You got to put yourself out there, and people aren't so kind.
Yeah.
And it's just like, man, everybody's all the eyeballs are watching, and they just waiting on you to mess up or waiting on you to give up. And I think a lot of people, if we can get over that hurdle, we'll see a lot of more productivity in our communities.
You also have to have a tough skin. You're not going to please everyone.
Everybody,
my greens doesn't taste like your grandmother's greens.
Yeah.
Your grandmother didn't cook them. I cooked those greens.
Yeah.
So they taste like my greens.
Right.
And, if you don't like them, I tell the students, too, if you don't like something, I never send my food back. If I don't like it, I just won't go to that restaurant again. But I'm never sending my food back. It's really an insult. Somebody has taken their time to prepare a meal for you, and maybe they're having a bad day. Who knows?
That spit button is definitely getting turned on.
I'm certainly not. Yes,
no.
Not gonna happen. We're not sending that back.
I'll eat it.
Okay, something you can't see.
Yes, thank you, and won't see you again. Yes, absolutely. But yeah, you have to have a thicker skin.
And but you did have food trucks and stuff like that.
I've never had a food truck, but we do pop-ups in different places. No, not a food truck.
Okay. So if anybody wanted to reach out to you, where can we find you?
Oh, that's a very good question. Now
Yeah.
Well, we have the website is fulltummies.net, and you can contact me through there. I am very selective about my catering gigs, though.
Ooh, okay.
We are very cheap, so it's kind of again, it takes on a different platform.
Sean Puff Daddy Combs level?
I mean, she's going across nation. I'm pretty sure you can't put that in the microwave. Whatever she's putting out there, that's good.
And for those who are out there who are watching and listening and they're interested in your candles, where can we find your candles, Ms. Val?
You guys, we are on IG, but we definitely encourage you to go to sparkandflamecandles.com. And what's unique about purchasing our candles is, first of all, definitely go to, when you get to the website, read about our story. You'll understand why we even started this business. Secondly, if you purchase our candles, we actually donate 15% to the MS Awareness Foundation as well as the Cancer Awareness Foundation. So it'll be a meaningful purchase.
Nice.
All right. And then normally what I do before we conclude any of our episodes or any of our shows, I always ask our guests to lead some words of wisdom, maybe some type of insight or whatever you would like to share. All right, we'll start with you, Ms. Val. Is there anything you would like to share with anyone listening?
I would say my words of wisdom is, if you can dream it, then you believe it, then go out and achieve it, because the sky is the limit.
What's that? Ms. Kimberly?
Yeah, I'll piggyback on that and say that don't be afraid. Just go for it. What can happen? I mean, you'll get turned down. You'll lose a few dollars. You'll get them back again. I mean, money is meant to be spent, and that's what happens. You spend the money, you take a chance, and you learn something from it and persevere.
All right, GQ Nesto.
Well, ladies, thank you for sharing your story. I think we're always intrigued by different stories, right? We always want to hear your journey and hear different types of journeys, obviously. And thank you. We really appreciate you guys sitting down and spitting some game, you know, from tummy to, you know, let's get it cracking in the bedroom. I'm digging this. So that's what's up.
Save you some good candles.
But thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right, no problem. And ladies and gentlemen, we're coming to the conclusion of our show. We thank you for tuning in. Continue to watch. We love your support. Please support these local businesses. All right, Spark a Flame Candle, Full Tummy's Network. And we love you. We thank you. God bless. See you guys next time. Peace.